welcome back. Today it's Friday the 13th, and we're on Three Guys and One Mic. I got with me
Bob,
Tom,
Joe,
and this is the Bob, Tom, Joe Show.
Well, boys, today we're going to talk about a little politics.
You mean Hillary?
No, you silly goose. We're not talking about deleting emails. We're talking about government revenue.
What is that, Bob?
Well, government revenue is money that is received by the government.
What exactly are you talking about, Tom?
Well, you see here, there's two major sources to government revenue. You got the taxing part, and you got the borrowing part.
Whoa. Let's take it a step at a time. We're going to talk about taxes.
Okay, Billy Bob, you know a lot about taxes, so you better take this one.
Well, the first one is income tax. It consists of 49% of the government's revenue, $1.5 trillion.
Whoa.
Number 2, corporate income tax.
Whoa.
What in hee-haw tarnations you saying whoa for? All right, let's get back to business. The third one?
Whoa.
Social insurance.
Well, Bob, you might have to re-say that so Tom's dumbhead over there can actually understand.
What are you talking about, Frank? Okay, guys. We're moving on to borrowing here. Okay, so borrowing is when the government gives out some bonds, and the bonds are like IOUs.
What exactly is an IOU, Tom?
What is this cat doing over here? It spells it out. IOU.
Yeah, but what is an IOU?
It's, oh my God.
I know it's spelled IOU, but what is an IOU?
It's when the people buy the bonds, and then the government owes you money, like IOU, but with some interest.
I know how to spell IOU, but what is an IOU?
Folks, I'm sure you're tired of hearing this kid talk, so we're gonna take a break. And while we're taking a break, I'm gonna beat this kid with a pipe wrench.
Beep.
If you're worthless and your life is full of pain and misery, go subscribe to Scum Gang or give us a follow on Insta at L_scum_gang_L.
Beep.
Well, we're back on the show. He's just got a few bumps and bruises, but he'll be all right. Well, before we get into spending, boys, we're going to talk a little bit about deficit. So, Joe, what do you got to say?
Well, basically, deficit is like if I had 5 nickels, and then I spent 6 nickels, and then I got negative nickels.
Oh, Joe, you could not be more wrong. You explain that like you have an IQ of 5. Before we talk about deficit, we need to know about debt. And I'm going to explain this to you using the U.S.'s national debt. So we make about $3.4 trillion a year. You might think that's a lot. Well, we spend a whole trillion more, sitting at $4.4 trillion. So that means we're in $1 trillion debt yearly. Like, it's just up there. So our deficit is the difference between our spending and our revenue.
Well, Tom, I understood about 2 words you said. But anyway, so let's move on. Now we are talking about government spending.
Okay, take it away, little Joey.
So basically, there are 2 types of spending. One, mandatory spending, and then discretionary spending. Basically, mandatory spending, it's money that must be spent because it's law. So the three best examples for this would be, let me see here, Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Now, discretionary spending is optional. That means we have a choice for this. The money spent here goes to all the departments. And the top 3 departments is the Department of Defense, VA, and the HHS.
On behalf of 3 Guys and One Mic, we would like to formally apologize if you couldn't understand a single word he just said. Well, ladies and gents, moving into our final topic of the night, we're going to be discussing the implications of the $22 trillion national debt.
22 trillion? Dang, that's a whole lot of nickels.
A growing federal debt is like driving with an emergency brake on. As the debt rates increase, debt holders could demand larger payments, which then interest rates would be increased. That would slow the economy. Thanks for listening to the station today on 3 Guys and 1 Mic. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for our 10-hour long premiere on Fortnite. And don't forget, follow Scum Gang. Gang, gang.